The entire team is completely rocked by Seth's return in The Return, the 16th episode of the Rookie Season 7. Although everyone has an opinion, Seth is made aware by the entire department that they do not want him there in a very explicit manner. Even though Seth deserved it, we must admit that we feel a little sorry for him for that. Must be Seth's new TO with all that involves, including closely monitoring him. Lucy, Miles, and Nolan are the ones most impacted by Seth's return. Lucy is aware that Seth is dangerous and that he is not going to change. She offered him many chances but he never seized them, so she doesn't anticipate anything different from him now. And to be honest, we concur with her. Lucy, however, must put aside her beliefs for the time being since she cannot alter the reality that Seth has returned and that, if he performs well, he will complete his training and become a police officer in every meaning of the word. And because she knows Seth won't be a good one, that irritates, angers, and frightens her. However, Seth's return in The Return, episode 16 of the Rookie Season 7, is a whole other tale for Miles. While they were at the academy, he got to know Seth and became friends with him. Miles discussed intimate facts of his life with him, and he believed he knew Seth well enough to disclose personal information about himself. It is a horrible betrayal to discover that everything was a lie. Furthermore, Miles is unable to let it go, despite Tim's advice to do so in order to avoid jeopardizing his job for an unworthy person. Miles will no longer trust Seth, therefore he must make him pay for his treachery and let him know that it ruined everything. He is unable to. But what really irritates us about Seth is his refusal to accept accountability for his deeds. He continues to justify himself by claiming that it wasn't all a lie. Furthermore, he becomes irate since no one at work or with Tamara believes him when he says he has good intentions. How then does he think they will? Even about something as horrible as having cancer, he lied about everything. To get back to the LAPD, he crossed all the lines, yet he was still cynical enough to act as though he didn't. Because no one trusts him, he now sits in the patrol car acting like the victim. The boldness. That is the result of trust. Losing it is really simple, but restoring it requires time and work. Let him lay in the bed that Seth made. He has the power to win back everyone's trust, but he cannot hold it against them because he deserves their mistrust. Seth has the upper hand in The Return, the 16th episode of the Rookie 7th season. He must choose between fighting to establish his credibility and continuing to act like the victim of the world. At the end of the episode, Seth is faced with this decision once more. We want to concentrate on the repercussions even though he saves Nolan's life. Seth had two options. He could have used his leg injury as a justification for nothing changing, or he might have seen it as a catalyst for change. Fortunately, he went with the latter. He did it even though he doubted himself and didn't know how to do it. One step at a time. In the Rookie Season 7, The Return, Seth was aware that he would lose Tamara if he told her the truth. However, he couldn't base their relationship on a falsehood if he really loved her. It wouldn't be real in that scenario and would ultimately fall apart like a house of cards. Lucy's personal and professional lives are both upended by Seth's reappearance. In the Rookie Season 7 episode 16, The Return, Tamara and Seth began a relationship that has persisted to this day. And even if Lucy and Tamara's previous relationship didn't work out, they are too important to allow that be the end of their relationship. In order to meet Seth more personally, Tamara invites Lucy to do so as her older sister rather than as her too. Lucy is an essential person to Tamara. She loves Seth and is more than just a friend. She is also her sister and somewhat of a mentor. She doesn't want to feel conflicted between two of the most significant individuals in her life. Lucy should give Seth a chance, according to Tamara. For Tamara's sake, Lucy bites the bullet and makes an effort to be receptive to seeing a different side of Seth and distancing herself from her professional experiences with him. The evening was going as smoothly as it could at first. Because she was aware of Seth's personality and wanted to shield Tamara from him, Lucy found it extremely difficult to ignore what she knew about him, but she was successful. Tamara was appreciative of that. However, Lucy had had enough of acting as though nothing was wrong when she spotted that ring on Tamara's finger in The Return, episode 16 of the Rookie Season 7. She was no longer able to do it.